Alright, so this video is basically about, basically what this is about is, to all my fellow G fans out there, fans of the big G, I can't be the only one who's thought of this, and what I'm talking about is basically, I'm pretty sure everyone's thought of this, but have you guys ever created monsters to fight Godzilla, like your own monsters, like, hey, I thought of a monster that Godzilla could fight? You know, I've always thought that would, I can't be the only one, because I'm pretty sure all of us has thought, hey, I'll make a monster for Godzilla, because there's not a lot of other giant monsters that could probably fight him. And I will admit, there are a lot of giant monsters that we'd love to see Godzilla fight. Actually, I did a video about this a long time ago. But yeah, there's a lot of challenges for the big G out there, but, you know, I'm more or less not talking about, hey, could Godzilla fight such and such? No, what I'm basically talking about in this video is, you know, has there any bit of monster you created, and you probably, like, wrote in a short story, or thought up in your head of a whole fight with Godzilla and a monster you created? So I'm just gonna, you know, and because I can't be the only one who's thought of this, because, you know, everyone who's a G fan has thought of their own monster to see if they could, just to have him fight the G-Man himself. So, anyway, I just wanted to just show a couple of just talk about some of my monsters I created to fight Godzilla in my little short stories I did when I was younger. The first one was Balageth. Balageth the Unstoppable. Balageth was basically this underwater octopus whale demon thing. I can't even remember what it was. Balageth was basically this aquatic demon who Godzilla encountered one day. They fought, and Balageth has this thing, is that he's one of the bastard children of Poseidon. He's basically a demigod per se. His father is Poseidon, but his mother is a human. So Godzilla and Balageth fight for a while, and Godzilla rips him in half. Godzilla ripped him in half, then ate him. And then, you know, if I can remember this story, I think, if I remember right, Poseidon came down, and Godzilla fought and killed Poseidon. Yeah, Godzilla killed a god in this story. So, yeah. What was another one? Trying to remember, because I haven't made a new monster in a while. Carcharis. There's another one. Carcharis was a giant bird, more or less. He was just this giant two-headed bird. Carcharis fought This is another monster Godzilla fought. And I think it was like, if I remember right, the story was basically Godzilla. It was basically supposed to be based off of. Yeah, I just said based 3 times in one sentence. Amazing. It was supposed to be based off of, like, a sequel to Godzilla vs. Destroya. I think it was like Godzilla Return of the King, basically, where it was Godzilla's son taking up the mantle of his dead father after the death at the hands of Destroya. So, yeah, that's what it was. I think, yeah, now that I think that I'm remembering it, it was basically Godzilla fighting these new slew of, you know, Minya becoming, you know, taking up his father's shadow, or stepping out of it, that's the better word, and fighting all these new monsters who want to become king of the monsters. And they're basically destroying every huge city in the world, trying to prove, hey, I'm the new king of the monster, the last one's dead. And it was basically Godzilla, the new Godzilla, Minya, going from city to city, destroying each one to show his dominance. And Carcharis was one of them. He fought him in... where did he fight him? Egypt, I think. Yeah, I think it was Egypt, where he fought Carcharis. Yeah, he basically grabbed both of his wings and ripped them off, then atomic blasted him. There was a bunch of monsters. I'm really having trouble trying to remember all of them. What was another one? There was about... I'm trying to remember 2 more. I'm trying to remember... Because I created a lot, and I actually thought of these 2, and I'm trying to dig these out of memory. I'm sorry, guys, but what was another one? Oh, Oberus. Oberus was another one. Oberus was basically an energy being who fed off. He was basically like this huge psychic vampire. He was basically a kind of like he was a being made of pure energy, but he fed off the life force of Godzilla. So the more he fought Godzilla, the more energy he drained away from him, and basically was feeding off of him. And I think, as I recall, it actually was a team up between Ghidorah and Godzilla to take on that Oberus. Yeah, now I remember, it took King Ghidorah and Godzilla to destroy Oberus. Man, I'm glad I'm trying to remember these, because it's been a while. I haven't created new monsters in a while. If I remember right, Oberus was a being of pure energy. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if I made him like a mass of energy, or if he had a physical form. I can't remember. I can't remember if I gave him a physical form, but what was I'll try to remember one more for you. Galadon. Galadon was, now I remember, Galadon was another sea monster. He was basically a giant sea scorpion, and he basically he basically could spawn himself, like he could open up his back and all these little other sea scorpion things came out of his back. And he came and tried to devour all the resources on Monster Island, and Godzilla just blew his ass out of the water. Not after being poisoned by him. Like, Godzilla got poisoned, and, he was weakened by him. And it didn't help that, the monster he was fighting could regenerate. I think I gave him regenerating abilities. See, it's so hard to remember all these monsters, because... And I'm digging out these monsters out of sheer memory. Remember that. Because I made these such a long time ago. And I know I created more than that, but, all in all, yeah, I created so many monsters. And that's just a few. Man, I really should go back and try to find, like, an illustrator or something and, try to draw these monsters out. Because I can't draw for shit. I can think up stuff, but I can't draw it. Go figure. Yeah, I'd really like to get, like, an illustrator and draw these monsters for me. And maybe, I don't know, do something with them because they were really cool monsters. But, yeah. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. And I really want to know, have you guys ever created original monsters to fight Godzilla in your imagination, or you drew, like, a little story, or you drew... you made up your own story about it, or you made the monster out of... Just put it in the not even fighting Godzilla, you just created a monster and put it in the Godzilla universe, basically. That's more or less what I'm trying to get at. Have you guys ever created monsters like that? So, and I think, I really want to know, because this is a cool subject, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the monsters I thought of and told you about, but, yeah, so feel free to tell me about them. Anyway, I'm out.